Ready? Parents have a lot of thoughts and concerns concerning their children before and after they are born. But one of the first things that comes to mind that the parent thinks about is what type of education their child is going to receive, whether it's public or private school, and what type of environment their children are going to be in. Uniforms has been a controversial topic in the United States recently because some parents feel like uniforms and dress codes are restricting their kids' imagination and creativity. But some parents strongly feel that uniforms and dress code promote a higher standard of learning and preparing their kids for the future. As a kid growing up through public school, dress code really wasn't enforced through elementary and junior high. But as soon as I entered high school, dress code really got enforced. Whether they was telling you what color shoe screens to wear, what color shirt you can wear, what type of earrings you can have in your ear, or what type of haircut you can have. Me personally, and many will agree with me, as a teenager you really don't want anyone telling you what to wear. More specifically, someone who doesn't even buy your clothing. It didn't take long, shortly after I graduated from high school, to understand the whole parameters of dress code and uniform until I did a little research myself. And I found that the pros outweigh the cons by a ton. Is it still? Okay. I found out that the pros outweigh the cons by a ton. Not only do uniforms and dress codes promote and have a better safety around the school itself, but uniform and dress code makes every kid feel equal and fit in the same. There's really no outcasting as it would be if everyone was wearing regular clothes. According to the National School Board Association, there are over 135,000 guns brought into over 85,000 public schools daily. I'm no brain surgeon, but I know that fact is scary to me, and if I had kids, that alone would scare me, and I would want uniforms and some type of dress code restrictions for my kid in the school that they would go to, because it's less likely to get a gun into the school if everyone is in dress code and everyone has to wear a belt around their waist instead of a kid wearing baggy pants with a big old t-shirt to conceal the gun itself. Over the last couple of years, I continue to lean more and more toward the approach of, I think every school and school district should implement some type of form of dress codes or uniforms, especially in public schools, because of the fact I just read from. Over 135,000 guns are being carried into over 85,000 public schools. That's very scary to me. Not only are there positives in uniform, but according to Fresno University, over 68% of parents believe uniform policies overall improve academics, and over 80% of parents thought uniforms reduce teasing and bullying, and over 80% thought uniform promoted equality between the sexes, and the most revealing stat to me is over 80% of girls like the uniforms and over 62% of the boys like the uniforms. Clearly, uniforms and dress code is not as bad as what we think it is. And according to the New York Police Department, they listed outcomes after uniform policy began in the year 2000, and their surveys and results show that crime and gang-related activities decreased by 14.7% after the uniforms or some type of dress codes were implemented. According to Fresno State University, over 25% of public schools are having or about to have some type of form of dress codes or uniforms. And I think that's very good because of the guns that are being carried into our kids' elementary, junior highs, and high schools. It doesn't take that much research to realize and understand how much positive uniforms and dress codes have and how they affect our kids, not only academically but socially, because the kids have a sense of belonging, and bullying decreases because everyone's not dressing different. Everyone doesn't have the most expensive brand of shoes or pants. Everyone is dressed alike, so it can't be that much teasing of what families cannot afford certain clothes and shoes for their kids. So bullying decrease with uniforms and some type of form of dress code. I hope to look back in about 5 to 8 years and read across, whether it's a magazine, internet site, or a book, that over 60% of public schools have moved toward the approach of implementing some type of uniforms or dress codes for the kids, because it is a much safer. It makes for a much safer environment, and it has so many positives, including higher grades, decrease in violence and gang activity, and most importantly, social belonging. And not only does uniform help for short term, it's also a huge long-term benefit. It also teaches our kids how to dress for interviews, the workplace, and how to act and behave in the workplace as well. To all the people who used to believe and think like me that uniform doesn't have no type of effect on our kids' education or violence at all, I would just recommend you strongly do research on dress codes and uniforms and see that the schools that actually have dress codes and uniform, how the violence is much lower than schools without uniforms and dress codes. And you will find out shortly and not long that you would rather your kids be in uniforms and dress codes as well. I hope that this message that got through to all who's not strong or big on uniforms or dress codes, but hopefully after you do a little research and after you hear me out that you will want uniforms and some type of dress code implemented in your kids' schools. Thank you.